Hi, it's Michelle Fox, and I'm back to talk about attraction marketing, something that I really am passionate about. And today we're specifically talking about increasing your influence, increasing your reach, which would mean increasing your followers, friends, likes, views, and ultimately all of that is going to increase your customer base. It does take a little bit of time, but once it starts happening, there's a snowball effect, and you will be amazed at the numbers and how it starts to just kind of feel like, holy smokes, like it just is really happening so fast. In the beginning, you're like, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? And then when it does, you're like, what am I going to do with all these leads? So hang in there, okay? I want to talk about how to get to 1,000 friends on your personal Facebook wall, to 1,000 followers on your business page, how to get more engagement in your VIP group, and then I'm going to surprise you with something at the very end. We will probably have to do a whole separate video on it because I have not brought this up yet. So we'll wait till later. It's a good one. Okay, so your Facebook personal page, personal wall. What do you guys call it? I don't know. It's like I hear different things and it gets me confused, but personal, the personal one. You want to get to 1,000 friends. Now, young people, no problem. They have like 1,500, 1,800, whatever. I don't know how. I don't know that. What is that? But people my age, we usually do not have that many. So we have to put a little bit of effort into that. Why do we want to do that? The friends on our personal wall, personal page, that is one of our big pools where we are going to cast our net and find our right fit customers. And so the bigger that pool is, the more likely we are to find right fit customers and the more right fit customers. Part of the reason why we don't get all the likes and the comments and the views is simply because we don't have the numbers yet. We need to increase our visibility. And there are some very simple ways to do this. One goal should be to add 10 friends a day to your personal page. If that's absolutely positively blowing you out of the water, 5 friends a day is something that I have heard other people say, but usually I hear 10 friends a day. And you can't, you can request 10, but that doesn't mean that they're going to accept. So I would say request 10, hoping to get 5. That's probably the way it should go. So here's how. You know how you have that list of people that it says, you may know, these people. And I always feel like, how do they get these people? Like, because it's so random. Like, I don't usually recognize their names or their faces. I mean, once in a blue moon, I do. But now that I want to increase my base, I'm looking a little more closely. And so I'll look at it, and let's say that we have 24 friends in common. That's a lot. So then I'll click on their, page and look and see, okay, all those friends that we have in common, they're all from church. So we must go to the same church. I'll friend request her. If she accepts my friend request, then I'll probably send her a message saying, hey, thanks for accepting my request. Do you go to such and such a church or whatever, just to kind of get a conversation going. I want to make sure that there is some kind of a connection, that I'm not just friending, totally random strangers. Like that is like a cold call. But at the same time, you don't have to only friend request your besties. You can stretch it. So really utilize that list of, you may know, these people. Go through there and shoot fire. If you have more than 5 friends in common, I would say friend request them. Why not? Also, you want to make sure that you have friend requested all of your customers. Anybody that's in your VIP page or any other group that you're in, you want to be friends with them. Okay. We've already talked about the fact that your personal page has gone from private to public. You're now a public figure. You are a public persona. you're famous, you're large and in charge. And you want to allow people to take a peek at you, your private life, to see what you're all about. The more that they can do that and feel that personal connection with you, the more likely they will make a purchase with you and remain loyal to you. So you definitely want to have that available to as many people as possible. So we're friend requesting by looking through, that list that comes up. Also, as you friend request your customers, maybe you already have them as friends, your very best customers, you can go and look at their friend list. And if you have people in common with, okay, so you're looking at their friend list, you see someone, you have 20 friends in common with that person, even though you don't know that person, you could friend request her. Why? Same logic. Well, we've got something in common. We may not have ever met. I may not know your face, but we've got something in common. Here's the thing. They may or may not accept your friend request. So what? It's the same thing as like when you call somebody, they may or may not, want what you have to offer. But it's a whole lot easier putting out a friend request and having it ignored than it is being rejected to your face or over the phone. So go for it. So that's just so easy. Is that easy or is that easy? But I forget. And so it's something that you got to make yourself do. And can you imagine if you request 10 new friends a day, day in, day out for a year? What is that going to produce? I mean, it's going to be phenomenal. Trust me, it is. So you're going to start getting friends, coming into your personal page, personal wall, whatever the heck we call that. And when they do, reach out to them with a private message. Anytime that anybody comments or likes or shares or does anything with any of your posts, you comment back and you go to their page and you comment and like and share. That's the kind of interaction Facebook wants to see. They will reward you for that. And also, that makes your friend know that you are genuinely interested in them, that this is a genuine connection, that you are taking the time to, look at their page and comment and that you care. So you want relationships. This whole thing is about relationships that are available through social media. Uh, Another way is to pay attention to whose birthday is coming up. Super simple. The best is if their birthday is tomorrow because you will beat the crowd. So you look and see whose birthday is tomorrow. You send a private message and try to say something other than just happy birthday. So, if you have a memory or something that you admire about them, or that they overcame something and that inspires you, share that. Again, super powerful. As simple as it may seem, those Facebook Messenger back and forth, that helps to solidify your relationship because first you may, you friend request them and you may like each other's posts and that kind of thing. But when you start a conversation in Messenger, then it's a real back and forth, you know, similar to a telephone conversation back in the olden days. We don't do that anymore. So you're just always thinking in terms of who can I reach out to, even if it's not somebody that I know really, really well. If we've got a connection of any kind, I want to invite them into my realm so that I can get to know them better and find out what we have in common. And those that are in that realm, I want to foster. I want to nurture. I want to wish them happy birthday. I want to like their page. I want to like it when they show their kids pictures and that kind of thing. So you are in your personal page consistently developing that friend list, not only just increasing the numbers, but making it richer. You want to be posting every day on your personal page. I neglected that for a long time. I always gave priority to my VIP, my customer group. And then if I had time, I would post in my business page, and I rarely posted on my personal page. That to me was like, whatever, didn't matter. But the fact of the matter is that the Facebook powers that be They reward you when you are active on your personal page. So, for so many reasons, because you want people to see the real you want to interact with them on a human relational level, and you want Facebook to like you because they have the power. Facebook controls what is seen and what isn't seen, and how many see it and when. So the more you play by their rules, as frustrating as that may be, it behooves you. I love that word. So, right now, we know that Facebook is watching to see whether or not you're utilizing your personal wall. Is true. So, you want to begin getting in there and posting. What should you be posting? Well, 80% of it should be just things about life, love, inspiration, hobbies, kids, your dog, those kinds of things, lighthearted, funny. 20% could be business related, but it needs to be, again, an attraction marketing type post. So if you post something, so out of 10 posts in a week, two can be about your business. One could be something like this: oh my gosh, I used to have such dry lips, but I started using this new product, and look, and you could have like before and after, or whatever, and then say, I can't, I'm amazed, and leave it at that, because people will either be interested or not. And if they're interested to the degree that they say, well, what is it? I need that. My lips are dry. Then you can say, well, I'll send you a message. And that seems classy, because you're saying, let's not bother everybody else with this conversation. We'll take it to the other room. And you are then giving them that information. And even then, you don't have to give them all the goods. You can say something like, well, I've been using it for, a few months now, and I absolutely love it. I can actually send you a sample of it. How does that sound? What's your address? You still haven't given away the fact that you sell it. You still haven't given away the fact that what the name of the brand is or whatever. You want to kind of romance it, and kind of bring them along. You want to keep some mystery there, not because you're embarrassed of who you represent, not because, and it's not a bad thing if they ask, what company it is. You can tell them. You don't want to come off as a weirdo, like you're not willing to tell them. But the more that you are like company, 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 the more salesy and spammy and icky it is. Okay. Whereas when you come off like, this product is so beneficial, do you want to try it? That's more like, I want to help you. I want to benefit you. I want to bring value to your life. All right. Can you see the difference? There is a difference. So, personal, Facebook page, wall, whatever. We want to get to 1,000 friends or more. So if you're already there, keep going. Okay. Don't feel like, oh, done, keep going, keep going, keep going. And you're posting there consistently. So the reason that I have chosen to focus on Facebook is because I primarily work with like middle-aged women who are primarily on Facebook. And so you will be choosing your social media that you want to focus on. In addition to whatever platform you've chosen, right next to it, you want to be collecting that email information. And that is where you put out something like, click here for my 5 favorite fall recipes, or something like that. You want to offer something that people are likely to want, and that they would be willing to give you their email in order to receive in their inbox. And the reason why you're doing that is because then you own that email information. You own that contact information. So, similar to how we want people to be attached to us, our brand, our name, what we uniquely have to offer, as opposed to just the company, which, the company, could come and go. It could close, we might leave, there are all kinds of things that could happen. when the only way we have to contact people is through, for example, our business page on Facebook. What happens if Facebook shuts our business page down? Because that happens. So you want to have that email information because you own that, and then you have that as a resource, as a way to communicate with that group whenever, however. Even though you may not have a reason to send them an email right now, if you start collecting emails now, and let's say in a year you start producing a YouTube series or something and you want to make it available, if you've been collecting emails all this time, that very first thing that you send out, you'll have hundreds of emails to send it to. So it's a valuable thing to be working on. So we're talking about increasing our numbers, and my point is that you're going to be working on one social media platform, and at the same time you want to be cognizant of that at every turn you want to be collecting email information. And that is primarily done with like the email funnel system, Flowdesk, that kind of thing, which we've got a whole other video on. So that's kind of an aside. All right, now we're back to talking about Facebook. Okay, so we talked about our personal wall. Let's talk about business page now. This was so clever. I listened to someone called Kim Walsh Phillips, and she said if you had to decide between two dentists and you looked them up on Facebook to see if they had good reviews, just to kind of get a feel for them. And one had a Facebook page that hadn't been updated in 2 months, and they had maybe 50 followers and no reviews, versus someone who updated an hour ago and has 1,000 followers and has a 5-star review, an average of 5-star review. Which one are you more likely to want to book with? So in the same way, if you are ignoring your business page, if you have a very small following and someone who has a similar business to yours has a large following and they're really on the ball and they're offering value and they're posting daily, they're going to choose them, right? Okay, it's like you hate to talk about that because there is competition in the marketplace. Let's face it. So she was saying that you want to get at least 1,000. Actually, I think the goal was 2,000. I only got to 1,000, but you want to get to 1,000 followers. It used to be that you just liked your business page, but now you can actually follow your business page. So 1,000 followers on your business page, and this is what's really cool. I'll explain it briefly, and then if you want to pursue it, I'll show you her website, because she works with business people more so than direct sales, like business people like realtors, doctors, dentists, that kind of thing. And so they want to be, their business page is kind of like the yellow pages, which young people don't even know what that is. But that is their business page is where people go to get information about them. Whereas for direct sales, we also utilize our personal page and our VIP group and all that. So her perspective was a little bit different, but it was still really cool and interesting. And one of the ways that she has you increase your number of followers is to purchase a Facebook ad. And, there are pros and cons to that, but just listen to this. So you purchase an ad, and she tells you exactly what to put, like what it looks like, what to say. All of our ads, everybody that was in the course, had the same thing. And we made it available to a worldwide audience. Why? The more people that it's exposed to, the cheaper the ad is. So it was dirt cheap. And the more people that it's exposed to, the more likely you're going to get a response from somebody. So this ad was, you choose the purpose of your ad every time. So it's either to get likes and follows, or to get them to click a website, or to make a purchase. Like when you create the ad, you decide what it is. So our purpose was to get likes and follows. And so when it's out there to a worldwide market, you're going to get a lot of likes and follows because even if it's just 1% of the world, it's a lot of people. So we put that out there for 24 hours. Oh my gosh. So for super, super cheap, we got everybody was different. Some got 500, some got 2,000, but we got a whole lot of likes and follows all over the world. You might think, but you're not going to sell to those people. But that wasn't our objective. At this point, we're just trying to increase our number of followers on our business page just so that we look legit, just to kind of get things started. Then day two, we shifted the audience so that it was to our local market or whatever our market was. So, like if you were a doctor, it was literally a local market. For me, I could have it be anywhere in the United States. What is really cool is how yesterday we were talking about really defining your audience. When you do a Facebook ad, you can be so specific as to say, I want women in their 40s who are married and working and like makeup and they have purchased a skincare product in the last 6 months. I mean, you can like literally, boom, 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 boom. And yeah, it does reduce the number of people that your ad, goes to, but it increases the likelihood that they are going to like what you have to say. So that was so cool. I had never really done an ad before. And again, that was just to get more likes and follows, but these were more significant because these are actually people that could potentially become customers for me. So at that point, I wanted to make sure that I had a welcome video, that I was really paying attention if anybody knew, was liking or commenting on my live videos. And if they did, then I commented back and, interacted with them as much as possible. Made sure that I mentioned that, hey, by the way, I've got a customer group if anybody's interested in joining that for more, insider info. So that was so cool. So before I forget, let me show you her website because she does these things. They're called challenges so that you can do that for free. So Kim Walsh Phillips, she has a personal page. So if you just put in her name, it'll take you to her personal page, but you want to go to her business page, which is facebook.com/Kim Walsh Phillips. And so her latest challenge is Scale Fast Formula. And everything that she does is really cool and it's free. And of course, at the end, then the offer is that you can pay to have, more personal attention from her. But what she offers free is still amazing. So every week she has a video that teaches about leads and all kinds of cool stuff. But I would say that if what I just described, with the ad and everything seems kind of clever, something that you might want to check out, I would imagine she's going to, cover that in the Scale Fast Formula Challenge. You want to dominate your niche, build your brand, and multiply your leads and sales in just 5 days. Yeah, I think it's probably going to be similar to what I did. So, so that's something that you might want to check out. Kim Walsh Phillips. Okay. So that's our business page. Now let's chat about our VIP group. How do we get people in there, keep people in there, and have the people that are there be more involved, more engaged? Well, part of that has to do with how often, how consistently you are providing content and whether it's bringing value to them or not. So, if all they are ever seeing is company pictures of products with, data about ingredients or, different stats and prices and that kind of thing, that's boring, right? Like that's not really adding value to their lives. And if they're not in the market for that right now, they don't give a hoot about that. So you need to start asking yourself, what can I be providing regularly to my customers that they would appreciate? What problem do they have that I can solve or that I can address or that I can at least acknowledge in some way? Is there a tutorial? Is there a video? Is there a diagram, a chart? Is there an online article that I could put a link in there for, that is what they will appreciate. When they feel like, oh, I just love getting on this page because it's just, there's so many resources. I mean, every time I'm in here, I feel, I feel enlightened. I feel happy. I laugh. I feel like I learned so much, whatever. And a good formula is to do some kind of engagement post in the morning. Engagement post is more of a fun post. So that could be like a giveaway, a quiz, would you rather, this or that. Just something that people typically respond to, like how do you take your coffee? You've seen those kinds of posts. As silly as that seems, a lot of people like to respond to those, and it's lighthearted. It's like, the morning news. It's not as serious as the evening news. And so if you can even just Google engagement posts, and you will see tons and scads of them. Create a folder and have a folder so that you have something to, fall back on, and do that in the morning. In the afternoon, think more in terms of how can I educate, inspire. So there could be product information, but then there could also be how to use it, or how does it benefit you. How have lives changed because of it, before and after pictures. But even outside of the specifics of, your product or your service, there could be something that kind of runs parallel to it. So I know someone who sells jewelry, but she also does a lot of makeup tutorials, because her thing is just about, it's important to feel beautiful, that she is speaking to, the whole package, that it's more than her just trying to sell jewelry, that she wants to help you, tap into your beauty and feel confident and feel beautiful and powerful. So, that's cool. So people like that. Going live is always going to be the most powerful thing you can do. Live trumps everything, even if you go live for 1 minute. I promise you that if you challenge yourself to go live every day for, let's say 1 week, even if it was just 1 minute, you will see a difference in the activity level of the people in your group. And Facebook will reward you as well. Similar to how they're watching you in your personal page, when they see you go live, they like that and they push that up in the feed. When you post a link, like you post a YouTube video, they don't like that. When you repost something that somebody else posted, somebody else's live video, they don't like that. So, I'm not saying that you can't ever do that, but you got to learn, the pros and cons, and live video is where it's at. So you got to get over yourself. You got to just give it a try. It's not as hard as you think it is. Okay. So VIP group, we talked about all that. And all right, so now we're on to the last one. I told you that there would be kind of a fourth thing that I was going to bring up that would probably blow your mind, and we'll probably need a whole other video about it. Okay. Those of you that have taken like Michelle Cunningham courses with me, you already know what I'm going to talk about, but everybody else is going to be totally new. It is this. As you are thinking about who you are, what you bring to the table, what your strengths and weaknesses are, you're thinking about your brand, there may be something, a strong interest, something that you love to talk about that has absolutely nothing to do with what you sell. So let's say I sell books, but my interest is swimming. That is not related at all, right? But I am passionate about swimming. I know all the different strokes, and I've taught swimming lessons, and I am part of a club, and I want everybody to know how to swim. It's something that's so important to me because I live near the water. Okay, here's a thought then. Part of your brand, or your brand itself, could be to identify yourself as that swimming person, the swimming expert, the swimming aficionado, or whatever, whatever that fancy pants word is, that you could create a group that has nothing to do with your book business, but is just about swimming, and put it out there, and attract people that like swimming, and create content that would that they would enjoy, create whatever those things, infographics, and do live videos, and provide freebies, and do all the things that you do for your VIP group, except it would have to do with swimming. Why would you want to do that? Well, if you're passionate about it, it should be something that is relatively easy and comes natural to you. And you will connect with other people on a genuine level that like the same thing. And as that group grows, because your passion is real, that group will grow, and they will begin to know you and like you and trust you. And at some point, you will be able to say, hey, by the way, I'm having this book party, and you can totally say no, but I just wondered if, you would be interested in attending. It's online. I just need to send you a link. What would you think about that? You could potentially have all the members in that group become customers, team members, etc. That idea to me at first seemed like, I why would you spend all that time creating another group, putting in all that kind of content for the possibility that a couple of them, are gonna, want to become your customer? But the fact of the matter is that most successful online marketers, online direct salespeople, have done exactly that. That they've got sort of like two presences. That there's one that's like their passion, their kind of their I was gonna say side gig, but not that. It would be like the thing that they're interested in, the thing, their hobby, I guess would be the right word. So they've got that, and they've got their direct sales, gig. Somehow or other, it creates um I don't 100% get it because I haven't experienced it fully yet, but I know other people have experienced it. I've seen it. I've heard, testimonial after testimonial. And so apparently that is the thing to do, that you have this other side of yourself, and you get like a big following there. And that is part of how you increase your overall following. I guess that does make sense. So like my personal page then would be have like everybody that's in my business, my VIP group. Then if I friended them, they would be in my personal page, so they're part of my my big group. And then if everybody that's in that interest group, I friend them, and then they become part of that big pool that I'm casting my net out in. So yeah, I get it. It's like I get it. I've always gotten it, but it's like, okay, really? Like it's hard to I'm very practical in terms of, money and time and all that kind of stuff, and I'm just thinking like, well, how much time do you spend on creating content for that group? But I think the key is it has to be something that you're really passionate about, and that's why you don't mind putting in a little bit of time, or a lot of bit of time, in that group. And that group itself is going to start, funneling people into your other business. The other thought is, and this is the another reason why you want to brand yourself, is that you can totally online sell online courses, webinars, workbooks. You can charge people to watch your video. So when you get that little group of people in that other niche, you could potentially charge them for a PDF that you created, or something like that, a Trello board. That's very interesting. I thought kind of like, well, it seems like, well, don't you need like a special license or, what, wouldn't you get in trouble? But that is how it's done. It's monetizing. It is creating multiple streams of income. And that is the big thing. That is one of the main privileges of having an online business. It is one of the reasons why you want to market yourself. So instead of being known as the company person, if you're just known as you, then it's okay that you do this over here and you do this over here and you do this over here because it's all part of you. But if the only thing that people associate with you is company, it really puts you in a box. Do you see? So it all ties back into branding, that you are more than the company that you represent, than the product that you sell. You have more to offer. And it's just such a cool concept. As you can tell, it's like it fascinates me. So I think that's enough to digest for today. I'm sure you have questions. So post your questions. We will chat about that because, as I've said before, I'm still learning and I'm still in the process of increasing my influence, increasing my numbers. And every now and then I'll come up with different ideas and I will, surely share them. If you've got ideas, I would love it if you would share. And again, if you got anything out of this at all, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, Promoting Confidence, so that you don't miss a thing. I really appreciate your time and I hope that this was beneficial. Thanks so much. Bye.